We did send you guys a package, and I know I asked you guys not to open it because I wanted to open it for this podcast slash video call today. Um, Adrian, would you mind opening up that package for us and just reading it off for us so we could see exactly what's in that special box?
Special box.
I mean, it's kind of like being a kid at Christmas and putting the presents under the tree before Christmas and asking me not to open it. But I refrained. You know, I've grown over the years.
So everyone listening right now who can't see this, he's got a really special box that he's going to open for us. And he's just going to explain in detail what he's seen.
All right. Well, number one, I got a card here. It's got the swag Misfit Media logo, which I'm waiting on to get my next hat.
Oh yeah.
You want me to read the card?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, just read it for us. That'd be awesome.
It's been Melissa and Adrian. It's been such a pleasure working with you over these last couple of years. 3.1 million impressions, 80,000 contacts, 25,000 redemptions, 42,000 engagements, and 626,000 in sales. You guys are a killer brand, an amazing team to partner with. Unravel the tissue and pull the trigger to see what do I need an accomplice on this? Like, we're on video, so I'm not going to get in trouble. To do this, to see what next year is going to be like. Cheers, Misfit Media. And I'm unwrapping a present that does have a gun in here. All right. So you want me to point it towards the camera?
Yeah, just shoot that thing. Oh. Oh no.
What happened was, there we go.
Oh god. It's a money gun.
It's a money gun. The money didn't want to come out at first.
There was too much money in there. Actually, I had to take out some money from it. Yeah, you got a custom Misfit money gun now.
That is super cool, man. Super cool.
So you guys are our first brand to surpass 500,000 in sales that have come directly through the program. You guys didn't just pass it. You guys absolutely murdered that goal. In fact, when you guys first passed 500,000, I've been meaning to set up this interview, but then the sales kept coming in even stronger and even stronger. Last month in November was your guys' best month of all time with $75,000 in sales. Best month across the board from everything we've done on every single campaign. So I I know it's a little late now because I want to do this at 500,000, but really, really incredible stuff though, guys. And it's really, really cool to see. And again, the thing I like about working with you guys though is you guys took full advantage of everything that we have to offer. I mean, you guys are doing the monthly campaigns, you're doing the monthly broadcasts, you're doing the birthday campaigns, you're doing the loyalty program. And when all of these things connect, and when you start creating that environment that's online and directing people in store, directing them online as well, you really start seeing these amazing benefits. And so again, it's so you go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I just want to add to that. So, I mean, part of this too is, if you're in a relationship and you're halfway in and halfway out, it doesn't really work. I always, emphasize and bring illustrations of relationships because we're human and we all understand that. And so one of the things is that you guys are a great company to work with, right? We've talked about that. We truly believe that, even though I have a bunch of $100 or $1 bills on my desk right now, we're not getting paid for this, I promise. But with that too, though, Brett, on our menu that you get in our restaurant, it has the QR code for our loyalty. When you log into our website, the first thing that drops down is the QR code for loyalty. And so if you have to be bought into what you're doing, and I think that we need to do a better job as a company of having some of that stuff in our restaurants on the walls and such, but we're bought into this. I mean, if you're financially going to be bought into it, you also need to follow that up with, like I said, on the menu, on the website, and we're trying to push it on our side as well. And I mean, that's part of it. And, and by that, our loyalty has blown up, like you said, $75,000 last month. And that's what I challenge people to do, is because even as great as this relationship is for 2 years, we also track this stuff in-house. And so, yes, you give us our numbers, you give us our information, but we also track it in-house. And what we do at the end of every month is we look at our return of investment. So we spent X with Misfit. We spent X in with Facebook on promoting. This is how much we got in return, how much sales we did. And then we calculate what our actual net profit was from it. And the numbers speak for themselves. As cool as your hair is and as awesome as your personality is, the numbers are what sells it for us. You know what I mean? There's proof in numbers, and
Yes.
You got to be all in though. You can't dance in the middle of the line. And that's what we've done. Even more so over the last few months, we've invested more into this because of the results we've seen. So
100%. No, yeah. And Adrian, if we're looking, so like you just mentioned, right? So November, we did 75,000 in additional sales. October was close to 50,000. And then right now, December, we're looking at about 50,000 right now, to almost 50,000. I'm sure we'll pass that probably in the next couple of days. Actually, no, we are missing a few thousand in revenue because you guys crashed our system, to be honest. So yeah, there's that too.
Right. And we just opened, so, and in the middle of everything, we've opened 2 stores this year. We opened a store in October, and we just opened a store at the 1st of December. We're just
sorry, I had to reload and shoot again.
You got to do it. In fact, Adrian, I put all there's money in that box too. I was trying to fill the whole thing up, but it was too much money, so it wouldn't shoot out. So I put about a quarter of it in, and then the rest in the box.
Sorry, Melissa, go ahead. As you were saying, let the boys be kids for a minute. It happens.
Yeah. I'm just anxious to see that gun at the next GM conference.
Look, this is going in a case. This is a do not touch. This is do not touch.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Melissa, because I know you're getting ready to hit on something important with the new store opens as well.
Well, and I mean, I was just saying that even through all these sales, we've opened 2 new stores, and so it's been quite a heavy quarter for our 4th quarter. And I'm pretty sure all of that $50,000 happened in our new store.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because even on talking about that, even in these times, just some encouragement for restaurant owners or anybody who's listening that may be part of a business, this year's been tough. We all know that. Like, if you were to say, hey, what year would you like to revisit? I don't think 2020 would be on anybody's list. And so, but we did just open up a location in Mountain Home, Arkansas, that has broken every record. Daily sales record, monthly sales record, at this point, yearly sales record, and so, and Misfit has been a big part of that. We have a lot of people that are already part of that campaign that have opted in and coming in and see us. And it's just, so what an awesome way to end a very, I'll call difficult, but a very growing year. Because in the midst of struggle is the birth of success. And so you have to look for the silver lining. And so to end this year the way we have is just, thank God,
so awesome.
We're going to quietly walk into 2021. We're not going to disrupt too many things and, not say 2021's our year, because I've learned not to say that. But it is a pretty cool way to end this year. And Misfit has been a big part of that in Mountain Home for sure.
That's awesome, guys. I love that. Well, one thing I also want to point out, just looking at your guys' report, is so we have a total of about $630,000 in track sales through our program. If we look at just this year alone, though, we're looking at about 412,000.
Yeah.
So we've actually doubled the sales this year in comparison to last year.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
During COVID-19, keep in mind, right? Yeah. Which is, I know we've added a lot more locations too. So that's obviously a big factor of it. I know you guys have, you're adding more locations as well to the business, which obviously big factor, but just wanted to point that out. I mean, it's incredible to see. So, I think the big thing, a lot of restaurants right now, look, they're upset. They're sad about what's happened and they're looking about it in a really negative light. You guys, though, you've been thriving this whole time through. And it seems to me also, like you mentioned, touch on your employees, right? Your employees are such a strong part of the team, obviously, such a strong part of the company to really propel you guys forward. Out of curiosity, what do you guys currently do, or what is like a common practice for Brick Oven Pizza Company when it comes to training employees and making sure that they're performing to the best of their abilities for the brand?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start on this one just because, right. So just to be candid, our training program per se is not as good as everybody else out there. And the reason I mention that is just because it's more about our culture. We're working on developing better training, better investment in our people, because we do truly believe in a bottom-up company. And Melissa will hit more on the day-to-day training and how we do that. But it's at the end of the day, it's a culture. You mentioned that you train your people daily and weekly and all that. And so it's not necessarily, we have moved to a 30, 60, 90 type of mindset of making sure we're setting the right tone for our people and, continuing that tone. But at the end of the day, you can train and do all these wonderful things, but if the culture and the heart of your restaurant and your stores aren't there, then you're missing it. And, for us is this didn't hit us any different than any other restaurant business during COVID. What we decided to do is, okay, the game has changed, right? So we're at 80% dine in, maybe 20% carry out. Well, congratulations, your 80%'s gone. And so what we just really did is, okay, well, this is a part of our business we haven't mastered, just as you talked about, making sure you're always thinking outside the box and becoming better. During this season, what we really did is we tried to really focus and perfect a side of our business that we were probably missing before. And so whoever knows when it's going to be, when we are able to have 100% dine-in again, I think that it's just going to make us in a better position as a company.
So you said you were 80% dine in, 20% carry out. Is that still the case, or what is that now?
No, I mean, now
we're probably about 50-50 for the average. Probably about 40% dine in, 60% carry out across the average of most stores.
Yeah.
Got it. That's what I thought, right? Because I know that's happened for a lot of restaurants, but for you guys, right? If you're switching to that model, takeout is that more profitable for you guys though? Takeout. No, it's not.
No, I mean, because now every pizza I'm putting in a box. Every salad I'm putting in a box. So yeah,
the packaging.
Yeah. And so, you have that costing and you have an option of, okay, well, now we're going to add a carry out charge to all this. What we decided to do is just weather the storm, still take care of guests, still serve great product. We did not increase all this stuff to counterbalance the profitability side. Without sharing a whole lot, I'm optimistic that we end this year higher in sales and higher in profit than we did the last year. And that's not I don't want to share too much, but at the end of the day, again, understand that yes, as leaders, we set the guidance, but our people this year, what they've gone through and how they have overcome is more inspiring than anything that I can personally say out of my mouth. We made it off the backs of a solid financial foundation that the owner set for 35 years, but also on the hard work of all the people and individuals. And so again, when I talk about that culture, as I did earlier, that's the culture we've built is just struggle is the birthing place for success. We couldn't change the struggle that we went through this year, but we can change how it affects us for the rest of our lives. And that's really what we embraced. And so without being too preachy, Melissa, I'll let you, jump in.
Well, just, going back, Brett, I mean, I think, in some ways, obviously, if we were 100% carry out, our labor costs might be a little bit lower, but our food cost is so high, being carry out, that was really hard to overcome, during that period. And I think that's the reason now, as Adrian said, we are projecting, to end this fourth quarter on a much higher note. But, all of our restaurants have some sort of dine-in.
Got it.
Some with more than others.
Right.
So On that note, though, I mean, what do you think is the reason that you guys will end more profitable and better than ever this year?
Well, so I'll try to give a short answer. But I think as Adrian alluded, like when this first happened, we did react very quickly. We didn't wait to see what was going to happen. We tightened our
Yeah,
belts immediately. And just an example. All of our salary managers, including ourselves. The supervisor. Adrian, the president. We all went to 6 days just immediately. And so I think the biggest thing I think that is that we immediately started watching our pennies front end. We didn't wait until we got through till the summertime to see what was going to happen. As soon as it happened, we reacted and made those adjustments. Now, did we do the best thing ever? Would we do it the same way next time? No, probably not. We learned a lot of valuable lessons, and we know a lot more now, obviously, than we did. But I think having an immediate reaction and not waiting to see what was going to happen was probably one of our biggest strengths.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, and all of us were, we did. I mean, again, being bottom up, I mean, we all went to 6 days. We all had aprons on, working the line, working a position, in there in the trenches with our people. And like Melissa said, we probably would handle some of the things different just because it became a little bit taxing on our employees, a little taxing on our people, a little
Yep.
taxing on us. So, I just say there's two differences of fear of the known, fear of the unknown. Now that we've experienced what the fire feels like, we probably handle a little bit different. But at the end of the day, one of the things too we haven't said is also understand pizza business has thrived during this time. And so
Yep.
we had some because what the last thing I want to do is make anybody feel like that, yes, we're under the balloon of restaurants, but pizza business was a little bit more fortunate because outside of our brick oven brand, we have a little bit bigger concepts with bigger square footage and more overhead that we did truthfully see more of a hit on that side of our business. And
Got
so
it.
we're only talking about the brick oven side. Our other concepts, it was struggle to keep your head above water. And so,
Got it.
for anyone listening, I'm not trying to desensitize what their experiences were because the pizza business, we're kind of blessed there.
100%.
And the last thing I'll say on it is that we did see how Misfit really stepped up and helped us in those times with sales. We saw a decline, that March, April, May, we got hit pretty hard, but Misfit, the loyalty was still pushing. The opt-ins were still pushing, and thank God we had that as well. And so I just
100%.
consider us very fortunate, through this season, and we learned a lot,
Yeah.
a lot this year.
Well, a lot of big time investors I know when they're looking at investing in different companies, and I'm always curious, but I always read up on these things. But like Peter Thiel, big time investor, he always says that the most successful entrepreneurs, the most successful business people are the ones that just take action. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's whether you take perfect or imperfect action, doesn't matter. But if you do something right, you benefit from it. If you do something wrong, you learn from it and you move on. Right? But it's people that don't do anything where they have these issues. I mean, man, we saw so many restaurants this year, from our clientele and just other restaurants that, we had been in talks with and whatever the case, just, it was almost like I saw this when people were approaching COVID, like if you approach COVID and you thought, man, this is the worst thing ever. I have no idea what we're going to do and how we're going to get out of this. Well, the chances that you were going to make it out successful are pretty low, right? Then you saw some people said, you know what, this sucks, but we're going to get through it. They just got through it. And then you had some people, I think like yourselves, who said, you know what, this kind of sucks, but we're going to somehow turn this into the best thing that's ever happened to our company.
Yeah.
We're going to somehow find the opportunity in this. And that's what I think you guys have done, which has been so crucial. And same thing with us as an agency, right? When this all hit, man, we lost half our clientele early on, late March, early April. And it was scary. We're all scared, right? But I think as business leaders, our employees look up to us as, hey, what's going on as the situation, right?
Right.
So it's really your duty to be strong during these times because that's what your employees are looking to, right? And
Right.
especially in the restaurant space, when this whole thing's hitting. I mean, there's other industries that are thriving right now, right? All these
Oh,
online
yeah.
brands, whatever the case. But specifically, I would say restaurants and probably like gyms and fitness studios, they've taken the heaviest
Oh, yeah.
hits,
Well, and
right?
dude, just to echo that, let's not act like all the choices we made at first were the right ones, because we've
Yeah.
set a policy in place, and literally by the time we type it out and sign it and send it to our managers, it was almost obsolete. And so it's not that we made all the right choices. We make different choices today, but we did make choices.
Yes.
And we learned every single day. And it's not that it wasn't scary. It's not that we weren't fearful, but at the end of the day, we just, we became very transparent with our people. Like one of the videos I sent to our people, maybe I did this one or maybe I didn't. We just talked a lot about, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to be
Yes.
scared. It's okay to be fearful. But at the end of the day, you still have to, we couldn't change COVID, but we can change how it allows us to grow, adapt, become better, become closer. And that the storm's still here. But if you can come out on the other side as being a better company, people more bought in, learned a lot and grew. I mean, that's life 101. Right. So I'm in this crap
Yes.
season. How do I become better? What do I need to learn? And that's what we really embraced as a company. And, so
Well,
far we've done it.
I will say
Yeah.
that, I think, one of the things coming out of this is, as Adrian kind of alluded to, it did make us stronger and closer as a company, because during this season, I mean, every day we're sending out messages, to our staff, once a week, we're sending out videos, whether, it be Adrian or whether it be myself or another supervisor, really just getting to let them know, like to have that support there, and I feel like that through that time, it became so much closer as a company across all of our brands.
100%. What kind of videos you guys send out? What is it, like training videos, or what kind of stuff you guys send out regularly?
No.
Motivational.
Yeah, motivational. No, I mean, because as we go through this, I mean, I'm not great at a whole lot in life. I know, surprise, Melissa. I know you can't believe that. But one of the things that I do feel that I'm gifted with is I do have the ability and the spirit of motivation and transparency, and as well with Melissa and other people that we have part of our team. But so we just did different videos of struggle is the birthing place of success, right? And so we talked about that struggle and how that feels, and it's not fun. We talk about, I'm not there yet, but look how far I've made it. And so in the midst of this, we were 2 months in, and it's hard to think about, oh my God, look how much further we have to go through this. Like, when is the end? But sometimes
Yeah.
in life, if you just stop and look back of what you've been through, you can say, oh my God, like, we've already made it this far. And so it was really just, and there were some that I was very open and honest with our people, that I was mentally tired. I was physically tired. I was, I didn't want to keep, having to deal with this COVID. And so it was those types of videos, that we would send out on a weekly basis, and just really, again, being a bottom up company, we were inside of this nightmare with them. And it was working a lot of lines. It was making a lot of pizzas. It was, sacrificing with them. And I think that, on the flip side, you just have to know that the people appreciate that, because it just gives your buy-in that much more. Because I could have sat in my office all day, every day. Melissa could have sat and had that beautiful picture behind her all day, every day, and just said, hey guys, we're going to make it through it. But there's just something about, putting the bootstraps on with your people and going through that season with them.
Yeah.
And so that's just the heart of our company. And it's been like that since day one. The founder, Scott Stevens, that's how he's always been. And so him being my professional father, if you will, and grooming me over these last 8.5 years, that's exactly what he would have done.
Yeah. I love that, guys. That's amazing. I mean, like you said, struggle is a birthing place of success. And that couldn't be more true. Because it's in times where we struggle, where we have to figure things out, right? When everything's going right, you're not really learning much, right?
Right.
Everything's working. We don't need to change anything. Oh, everything's sweet. But suddenly when things get bad, do we have to scramble, become better, do better, and therefore then actually ends up, we grow a lot from that, right?
Right.
So that's awesome, guys. What about for the next, what do you know, if we're looking at the next 6 to 12 months for Brick Oven Pizza Company, what does that look like? What kind of changes are you guys making? What are you guys foreseeing? Any other locations coming? What's happening in the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, I think, absolutely, we're going to continue to open more locations. We don't have that location identified yet, but mark it down. We'll be opening a location in 2021.
Nice.
We are really, I think we're in a place right now that, as we mentioned at the first of the year, going into really not even getting out of that first quarter before we got hit with, the COVID and the pandemic and stuff. We had to tighten up a lot of things. There was a lot of things that got put on hold, that we weren't able to achieve. And I think, 2021 is more about going back to the basics and redefining our foundation, making sure that we have people in place that are going to help us, continue to be successful. One of the things that I think, and Adrian will probably speak to this, that we just came out of, even just as recently in this quarter, not only did we open 2 stores in the fourth quarter, we actually did 2 stores 60 days away from each other. So one was 60 days on October 5th, and we opened the next one on December 7th. And that was a challenging time, probably a little bit, on all of us, but I actually opened all the stores. So it's been a time where I'm just now breathing and realizing how hard it was to open 2 stores in 60 days. And I think what we saw through that is like we've allowed this year to stretch us past places we shouldn't be stretched.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're really reevaluating next year. And, sometimes we can accomplish a lot. We can do anything. And, Adrian's the type of person, I'm the type of person that, just go ahead and put it on my plate. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that too. And I'm going to take care of that also, but is that always the smartest choice?
Yep.
Right.
And so that's where I think what 2021 is going to find us in. And let's go back to making smart choices.
Yeah. And I would say too, I'm sure if someone's listening to this, they're like 2 stores in 60 days. Wow. But the truth is again, that we have, and probably as a point of, well, that's not very many, but understand that we're not a huge brand and we all have a lot on our plates. Just to finalize kind of what Melissa said, so that because I'm getting ready to have a meeting with all the supervisors and decision makers in our company, right? And so just a little foreshadowing, if I keep taking money from my bank account, but I don't put money back in my bank account, eventually I'm going to get this little card that comes out and says I'm in the negative, right? And so that's my way of explaining that we've taken a lot from our people this year. We've taken a lot. So don't get it misconstrued that we made it through this year without taking a lot from people. What I mean by time and stress and frustrations and extra hours and go, and always holding it so tight that I think that, one of the biggest things I really want to focus on right now is I want to give back to our people, right? Investing time, investing attention, investing, some more foundation that we have in place. And it's kind of a give back season for us at the beginning of 2021. Because you got to put money back in that account, emotionally, physically, spiritually, health wise, all that. And so that's going to kind of be our focus first. I'll talk to the owner of our company about, the next locations. We're also, going to look at building or growing some of our other brands. But it's kind of a reset, recenter, if you will. I'm a big reset, recenter guy. And so after this season and everything we've gone through, I think that's going to be our biggest focus. But at the end of the day, it's also getting back to the principles. Are we serving good food? Are we not just serving, I don't call them customers, but guests, and making them feel like family? Are we involved in our community? Are we, getting back to that? Because the one thing that this year has been is a whirlwind. I mean, it's like March hit, and then, oh my God, Christmas, well, what happened to the middle? Like,
I know, I keep thinking that too.
Yeah. And so, but we're not going to slow down in growing, but we are going to invest back, if you will, put money back into the accounts, if you will, of our people. because we made it through this season because of a solid foundation financially that our founder put in place. That's one of them. The other reason is because of how awesome our people are. And so we took so much. Now we've got to replenish. Now we've got to put back into our people, because as great as Melissa is, as great as I may be, we could not have made it without them. And
100%.
shame on us, and woe to us if we don't remember that. So
100%. Man, I love that, guys. That is awesome. And well, what's such awesome value I think you guys have spoken about today, and for all our listeners, I'm sure that they're so pleased to have heard from you guys today. If anyone wants to look you guys up, how do they do that? What are some social links they could check out, or what's your guys' website URL so they could check it out?
Right. So our website, is brickovenpizzacompany.com. And I stress that company piece. There's a lot of brick ovens out there. So we're brickovenpizzacompany.com. Of course, we are on Facebook, Instagram, also. But, reach out to any of us. I know that I've even in the past, spoken to somebody that was interested in partnering with you and Brett and Misfit. And so we're more than willing to have any conversations with someone. I know that, when I was in this journey, at the beginning of 2019, and I even remember having the conversation, Brett, with you, was like, I don't know you. Like, how do how do we jump into this relationship? We don't know each other. And, so I had a lot of reservations. I managed to hide them because I convinced everybody else to go into business.
I was the crazy guy from the internet. You didn't know me,
Right. But I think, we'd be more than willing to speak with anybody, because that's how much faith we have in our relationship, with Misfit. And
yeah.
I love that, guys.
Ditto. If anything, I think, you get to the end of this podcast and listen to it. We haven't talked a lot about, just the business principle 101, but we're a little bit different of a company. We're pretty open, frank, candid, just real people. You notice I've got pictures on the back wall that are of the founder of the company. There's nothing on there that shows my master's degree because I don't have one. But we're big on, we want to be the best that we can, invest into the best people that we can. And so if there's anybody that wanted to reach out to us and just, get some feelers of Misfit and how it's been for us, we're very open to that.
Awesome.
I'll tell it right, wrong, and indifferent, and they got to do their part too.
100%.
It can just be a 50% relationship, because unfortunately those don't work. So.
Yeah, no, I love that, guys. And that's the thing is for any of this stuff to work, it's always a true partnership, right? Mm-hmm. You hear oftentimes people talk about 1 + 1 can equal 3 in certain situations, right? Mm-hmm. When a true collaboration, when there's true business synergy, that's when it happens, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't achieve that unless you're all in with each other. And that's why I think this has worked really well, because you guys deeply care about your company, you deeply care about your employees, and you went all in on this, which is, amazing to see. Guys, really appreciate your time today. This has been so amazing. Adrian, I really do hope you enjoy that money gun. Melissa, when you visit Adrian again, you have to try it out.
It's going to be in a case, my friend.
I know, right? Well, you guys are our first client to get it. So this is our first time. So congrats to you guys on receiving the Misfit money gun, if we want to call it whatever.
the first ever, right?
So what gun are we going to get? Or, I don't know if we're going to get any charges, but what will we get when we hit 1 million? That is a pending surprise. It's to be determined right now, but it's going to be bigger and better than that. I'll tell you that. We'll come close to hitting it. What do you think? First quarter, going into second?
I would say there's a very good chance you're going to hit it probably beginning of Q2. Yeah.
Challenge accepted, sir.
Yeah, I love it, guys. All right, well, hey, we'll be in touch real soon, guys. Really appreciate your time today. Love obviously working with you, and looking forward to everything coming in 2021.
Let me say one thing real quick though, Brett. I just want to say, I greatly appreciate what you guys do. And I know you do this to make money, right? Even though you just gave me some. But, understand, I just want you to know how appreciative we are of this partnership and what you guys do. It's not just the results, but it's also the relationship. Anytime we've ever needed you, there's anything going on, you and your company have done great. And, you know, I just want to give you guys a genuine shout out, because being in the leader and being in business, it's hard at times. And I just want to say you guys are doing a hell of a job, and look forward to many more years of experience and growing with you. And I genuinely mean that.
Thank you so much, Adrian. That was amazing. Really appreciate that. Well, guys, again, we'll be in touch real soon. Looking forward to everything that's to come. And congrats on all your success you've had this year. It's been so
Thank
cool
you.
to